It's time to do this again, right? It's the best way I could put it. It's really time to do this again. Because I am learning a lot. I've taken back on a role of a learner again, just like someone who's just along for the ride. I've partnered up with John Mediana, and now I get to be a part of his team, see exactly how he structures everything, and it's been blowing my mind just fucking learning new shit every day and taking all my systems and really just upgrading them. So, yeah, I'm a learner again. I brought my book. So, I carry a journal, and I like to write very important notes in this journal. Typically, I'll have my camera out, just like this, or I'll have it on my phone, and, you know, anytime someone has some important shit to say now, I'm taking this camera out and pressing record. I'm recording it. I am playing this game of trying to miss out of fucking really good knowledge from a lot of different people, a lot of different perspectives. So I take a camera with me and I start recording everything. Now, I'm going to be known for the person who carries a camera and points it in your face. Because if you're talking real game, I take it very serious and I want to learn from it. So I have to document it, make sure I go back to it, and, you know, I think it's great just to have those all documented. It's pretty cool. So there's some key points I did want to talk about. So a phrase I've been hearing a lot recently is you don't know what you don't know. That's okay for people to just know, right? You don't know what you don't know. And that's more of a message to the person who has really high standards on themselves. Like, fuck, you'll set a lot of high expectations upon yourself and just burn out from those. You don't know what you don't know, like, and that's cool. You're gonna learn along the way. Don't really trip too much about it. Yeah, in Nashville, I lived in an apartment building that it had a pathway to part of downtown that was more business centric than I didn't know it was. And down below, right at my front doorsteps, right underneath my nose, was the Entrepreneurship Center. You know, I didn't know anything about that. I didn't know of any like resources that I could show up to. So this week I went over to the Entrepreneurship Center and listened to it was a panel of speakers essentially. It was a free event. Anyone could go. If you're in Nashville, Tennessee, or, you know, nearby surrounding cities, towns, check that shit out. It's a free resource for a lot of people. Well, sometimes, right? The best way I put the Entrepreneurship Center, I guess you could rent out little offices. And the best way I could put it, it's like the gym for entrepreneurs to work out their business muscles. Just like how you go to the gym to work out your actual muscles, there's people over there that know a lot about fitness and the body. Well, over here, same concept. A lot of the people there know a lot about business, making money. So if you're in that game and you like that type of crowd of people, check your local city's directory. Maybe I'm the only one. I fucking doubt it, though. I did not know how to navigate a city. I still really don't. But now I have a better understanding that, you know, if you do have a business, go to your city's chamber. See what they have going on. You might strike gold and have a active one. You know, just whatever your situation is. Next town over to me has a very active one, and a lot of the people that I'm interacting with are part of the chamber. Now I'm recognizing a pattern where, you know, if I just knew to go to the city chamber and like slip in there and start going into meetings, that I would be surrounded by all those people. Instead of having to like really search through and dig on social media, I use it to distribute my media and content. I, however, am not really on it connecting so much. You know, I fall victim to the real scroll. I'm gonna be honest. Right now, I'm swiping on so much content, just fucking. But yeah, you don't know what you don't know. Also, personal branding. I've been learning a lot about personal branding, and it takes a lot um, deeper of an understanding to, actually develop fully your personal brand in the sense of systematizing it and putting it all out on a piece of paper. Now I want to be the person who you guys could learn through as well. I'm still a learner. I'm forever going to be a learner. I like the learner role right now. I'm 24, so I just want to find my lane, stick to it, and then study amongst like some of the best and learn from them. And now I'm in that fortunate position where I'm actually go ahead and doing that. So with that, because I have these connections now, and I'm in a lot of bigger rooms than I once was, I'm going to share it. The rooms I'm with are all about entrepreneurs trying to build business and making impact. That's right there with me. All right. My goal too is to, learn everything there is to do with the content creation business model as a creative. I'm not really trying to go for viral, but I do want to make converting videos. So all these videos do have a purpose of converting at the end of the funnel. Right? I like creativeness, but I also still need to, feed my family, feed me. So it is all planned, right? I couldn't really just be doing this for fun since I ain't got funding like that, and I don't even think it'd be fun if I did have it like that. So this is part of that. It is a long journey. How do you see it? How do you see this content creation business industry? It's noted that it's worth $250 billion. There's a lot of money circulating through this. There's a cut of the pie for you if you want it. Just have to develop it. With John today, I was talking with him, having some conversations while we were building out his podcast studio, finishing it up, just doing some last minute like pinups. But in it, he was teaching me about what ended up being called like the 5 Ps. You have your person, your problem, your product, your process, and then your position. Understanding those, the person, that's who. Who is this for? For me, I want to teach, aspiring entrepreneurs that, there is a route for you. There is a process. Like, there are certain stuff you could do to expedite this journey. Now, the approach I'm taking on is that, like, sort of local scene. Going in with those principles, I found the right pocket of people. And this is my situation, so I'm just sharing everything from my situation and my perspective. Hopefully you could take some principles and learn from this. But that's the person, someone who could listen to these messages and really just learn from it. The problem is I'm learning as I'm going. I really don't know what I don't know. Well, to that problem, I had that as well. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know where to search. I didn't know really where to look. I lived in a place for a year, had the entrepreneurship center underneath my nose the whole time. I didn't know about it. Don't know what you don't know. I could think about like, fuck, well, if I was there, like what I learned from that one keynote speak, that shit was very insightful. I learned so much about personal branding. It's okay though. You don't know what you don't know. So the product I have, the solution I have for that is, well, I've been there. I've learned that. So now I have my channel. Now I want to solve that problem for sharing. And how I'm going to solve that is by sharing what I see on the daily basis now. What am I learning today? I'm learning some pretty valuable stuff every single day that a lot of people would pay thousands of dollars in courses for. Why not just give that away for free? So I'm going to give you constant value. And then the process of doing that is, I have my internal system of how I operate this thing. So I systematize this so I could able to do it alongside what I'm doing on the day to day so that this doesn't get in the way of my schedule and I could still continuously do it. And I'm not, putting in countless restless hours on it. I have a pretty efficient, production process, post-production process, and distribution process. Those I have all checked down and I'm cool. I don't stress about it. If I need to publish a piece of content, I could do it pretty much within like an hour. It's not that hard for me. My position. Now my position in this is that I think I'm unique that I'm really showing my process as someone who's boots on ground right now. And I do have a whole network mentoring me in my local, you'll see me shake their hands. So with those, you'll see them as online personalities, but for me, I just see them face to face human for who they are. It's very interesting how these minds work. They're super smart and they have showed constant discipline and have executed and been able to monetize and really thrive in their lives. So I want to be by that, and then because of that, I know it's going to happen. So I'm going to share that journey. That's my position. Those are a bit of the 5 Ps. Those are the sort of lessons that I'll learn every day. And there's very useful tools too. Say if you really wanted to understand the 5 Ps and lay them out on a piece of a one-pager, right? And you'll make this on your computer. Well, there's a software called Miro. Miro's free. You're allowed to really start mapping out concepts and really breaking them down and following them. For the person who's not really so organized, but their brain fires at, a V12 rate, you got to jot that down, you got to record it, and you actually have to, put it to paper so you could actually visually see it, not just try to contain it all in your head. Too much shit going on throughout the day. Miro is a perfect way to go ahead and get that idea out on paper in one, in one site, all one pager. I've thought I could just type out documents or record and try to stack the recordings or go back, put it on a timeline. Or sometimes you just got to start plugging those pieces together and start building on the thought, the concept, understanding it, having it all there. You want to have a place where you could actually do that. For me, I wasn't sort of like the drawer on a piece of paper. I'd always just write. So this really helps me do that. Also, organization tools like Notion, going ahead and put all that, shit in one place. And it's a sandbox that lets you manipulate a lot of stuff. But there's constant tools. I would like to go over, the content creator, like tool belt per se. Like, what are your tools? If you're, a contract worker for, a house, like a handyman, you have a tool belt full of all these tools that you'd run into problems and you have the right tool for the right, problem. Well, in the digital creator space, All of your tools are pretty much in your laptop. Softwares I'm talking about, right? To help you structure the business. Um, there's so much apps that help you out in so much different spaces and so much different scenarios that, right, without them and without knowing about them, dude, you'd have a jungle mess. And I was there, so I was like, fuck. Now I have a pretty lengthy tool belt. And they all work how they're supposed to work. And I have one for pretty much everything. Let me know if you'd like to learn a lot about like the tool belt. I think that'd be an interesting one for people to hear about. So drop a comment about learning about tool belts and what tools are in your belt.